Nicholas.
What up? Another day.
Hey,
It was a beautiful day too.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day. I'm gonna get it right into this shit real quick, but I gotta ask y'all a question, man. I was listening to the Ball Brothers podcast, and
They got a
that's
they got a pod?
yeah,
Oh yeah, they do. I knew
Cam on
that.
stage and Tony. Yeah. Funny as fuck. I was listening to one of their recent episodes, and they was talking about black movies, like top tier black comedy movies. And Kev asked Tony Baker, "Is Major Payne a black movie?" And Tony Baker said, "No." How y'all feel about that?
Is it a black movie?
Yeah. So yeah, like yeah. So
like
the criteria,
like Boys in the Hood type of black.
Yeah, yeah. Like
okay, I mean, those are definitely two different categories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what?
So like it was comedy. So basically they did like Life, Harlem Nights, Hollywood Shuffle, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. So then Kev on stage was like, "Is Major Payne one?" And Tony Baker said, "Nah." But
I wouldn't consider Major Payne a black show. I mean a black movie though.
Yeah, me either. That's what he's saying.
Movie.
And then, but it was like it is a black ass cast when you look back at it. It was outside like it was like 3 or 4 white people, but yeah, I thought I asked you that question. Then they said it was something else. It was another movie they had said, was it a black comedy? Could you put it? I can't think what it was, but anyways, but who was that? What up, T? Oh damn, okay. Y'all don't bring that bullshit up. Yo. How about? Well, welcome to while y'all filing in, man. Welcome to the Best Damn W Show, episode 25, man. We're gonna get right into this shit because last week y'all didn't give a fuck about our names, but you know,
Jay was like, "Hell no, we don't give a fuck about no intro." Get to the shit, man.
Look, she was texting me today. Go ahead and come on in here, sister girl. She was texting me today, asked me if we had a show. Go ahead and come on in here, sister girl.
Right, like god damn.
They show might be the biggest Beyonce fan I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Hey, I ain't never seen nobody this big of a
boy. She be defending that woman to her grave, man. I'll be like,
to her grave, yo. I've never seen no shit like that before in my life. But it's all fun and games because sometimes you do gotta defend your faves. Sometimes, man. People, especially nowadays, people try to rewrite history and shit or lie on them. So shout out to her for doing it. Don't they? They definitely be on that shit. So. Man, let's get it right into this shit, man. We got a bunch of we got all type of shit. We got college stuff. We got Unrivaled, but we're gonna start with WNBA free agency. What up, Big Baby?
What up, Big Baby?
Big Baby, not the one in jail, but Big Baby Jonathan. Let's get that.
Yo, come on.
The realest.
Because Big Baby from the Celtics, he all posted up in jail taking selfies with the whole.
He enjoying it there. He had the blast.
You know what this remind me of? It reminded me of a video. He took a video of he was on a private jet. He was eating Popeyes and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Nigga eating a whole big ass leg. I'm like, you fat motherfucker.
He was. He was like pouring money on top of it and shit. Now look at your ass in jail for real. And he keep playing around with it. And I don't know why him and Cam. I don't think he had a say what now?
I think he got like 3 years, I think, or something like that.
Damn, yo. But he wasn't the only one that did that shit.
That's a crazy thing too, because like I think he the only one in jail. Actually, I remember what's his name? Keon Doolin had went to jail.
Yep, he talked about it. He talked about it, I think, on All the Smoke podcast, I think it was. But like he wasn't the only one on that list. It was some other people, like. But he the only one that's going to jail, I guess, because the one he keep making a joke at everything. So he like, no, nigga, you going to jail. You're done. But let's start with this WNBA shit, man. This free agency. Let's start with the Fever. The Fever out here just assembling the Avengers, man. You know what I'm saying? They out here just getting the latest thing. If y'all don't know, Sid Colson has signed with the Indiana Fever, and she just rocked the world of people on Twitter. Like it's
was
just
that the most surprising? Y'all think that was the most surprising signing?
Yo, like, hey, look, that right there lets me know is like she like, man, if the Aces can't take me, I'm gonna go somewhere where I know they trying to build some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she gonna be a good vet for them. You know, another vet out there. So it's like it's not like I know it's like she's like the ultimate victory cigar. Because people don't see her all the time, but she can hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like she can do some things.
That's
she
the thing. Like I think people don't realize that about Sid. Like Sid is nice as fuck. Like literally.
Oh, she's a national. She has a national championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people, and someone actually came into my comments earlier and was like, "Well, why would they get her and not just keep Grace?" And I'm like, "Well, it's for a number of reasons. Like basketball is all about fit. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a very young team. They need more vets. So bringing in Natasha Howard and DB and Sophie and Sydney, like those are vets, and a lot of those vets have championship pedigree. Like they have championship experience. So I think that's very important for a very young team, but also I think people aren't talking about how Sydney Colson are always ready for the moment. When her number is called, she's always show up, and that's important. Like that's important not only to teach the younger generation, but also just in general. Like you need that on your team when you're trying to go out and win a championship. So I know Alexis Moore is mad as hell somewhere right now.
Honestly, there was a game last year. I think it was the Aces and the Liberty. Asia didn't play. And I remember Sid had like a really strong game. I think they were down like 15, 20 points like late in the fourth quarter. Managed to make a comeback. They still ended up losing the game, but Sid Colson was a huge part in that comeback, or nearly being able to complete the comeback and get the win. So Sid has always been nice, man. I know people know her for her comedic stuff and all that, but she can really play on both ends, honestly. And she has a very high IQ.
Yeah, and I think you need that. Right. And I think that's what people don't realize. Like she's been in every kind of situation. She's a winner at every level. College, the WNBA. So she has, like you said, Nick, basketball IQ that people underrate, I think, because she doesn't go out and score 20 points a game or 25 points a game. And I think we have to start getting away from that. Everyone is not a scorer. Everybody is not average 20 points. Some people are better at setting their teammates up and playmaking. Some people are just defensive juggernauts. Like everyone is not going to be a 25 and 10 type of player. And that is okay because it's not that much basketball to pass around. Everyone on your team can't be scoring 25. It's only one ball. So I think people have to realize that when you are trying to build a championship team, you're going for fit. And that's what Indiana is doing. And I like what Indiana is doing. I like that they aren't wasting any time. They got a coach that has proven to be successful in this league to surround Caitlin and AB. And they also have now surrounded them with a very talented roster. On paper, it's a playoff team to me. It's a contender to me on paper. I mean, I still need to see how it looks on the floor. But I think, they're going to look a hell of a lot better than they did last year.
Yes.
1,000%.
No, that is. Who else they add? They added DB, like you said. I believe one of y'all said. What else they do?
They added Natasha Howard. Sophie Cunningham.
Natasha Howard was another one that shocked everybody. Oh, DB was for sure shocked people because it was like either she going to Phoenix or retire.
I don't think Natasha Howard.
Especially like with the connection already with Stephanie White.
I would say we weren't. Like people who watch, we weren't shocked, but I guess like new fans who didn't know really knew she was from there, I guess. But it was definitely more shock about DB for sure. Because a lot of people were saying either Phoenix or retire. But I saw a lot of that. So, but all this like y'all said. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think for DB it was more shocking because not even from like a basketball standpoint, but more just from like a personal life standpoint. Because as most of you already know, DB and AT are engaged, or maybe they're married now. I don't know if they've gotten
married. Y'all didn't know, they are engaged or married, whatever. Yeah.
Right. So AT recently signed with Phoenix, so everyone just assumed that DB was going to follow suit. And and because she's at the end of her career for the most part. For those that don't know, she started in Phoenix. So everyone thought it could be like a full circle moment. Like her wife is there. They have 2 children.
We love storylines.
And she started there. She's won championships there. She played in Phoenix for 10 years. So people just thought it was a no-brainer. She's won multiple championships there. But instead, she shocked the WNBA community. She definitely shocked me. And she took her talents to Indiana. And I think it's a perfect fit. She's entering her 16th year. And like I said earlier, she provides that veteran leadership and just championship pedigree. But most importantly, like I think people don't realize that DB was averaging 15 points and 6 boards last year. Like she's not a slouch. she was hooping. And for Connecticut, she was their number one scoring option. So now she gets to kind of chill. I mean, I think she will still start, but she gets to kind of chill a little bit more because she's going to be the third or fourth option now. You know what I'm saying? So she doesn't have
16 years, yo. That's easy,
and
yo.
so now you don't need her to necessarily score 15 points, but you know, when Connecticut was playing last year, if DB didn't have a good shooting night, chances were Connecticut was going to lose. So now you're adding that talented player to a dynamic guard in Caitlin Clark and a team that's already stacked with AB and Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin. And then you have Natasha Howard that's adding more scoring because I think she averaged 15 or 16 points last year as well, or maybe 17, one of the two, between 15 and 17. So I think listen, in my opinion, they won free agency. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie.
They definitely did.
What you think?
I said that in the playback.
You did, Nick. What's their lineup going into the season, man?
I'll say Caitlin at 1, Kelsey Mitchell 2. I guess Dewana 3. I don't really know if you consider Dewana 3. She got a lot of length, but put DB at the 3, Natasha at the 4, and then AB rounded up.
Yo, that's insane lineup.
Very starting lineup because it adds a lot of size and then it adds a lot of versatility on offense. And that's why I told you guys, and I even tweeted this, like, Caitlin is going to lead the league in assists this year. Like, I feel like she focuses a lot on playmaking this year, especially when you're playing next to talented offensive players like Dewana Bonner, Natasha Howard can space the floor and score from all 3 levels. Same thing with Aaliyah Boston, who can occasionally, be able to space the floor, but is such a great, tremendous low post scorer. And then on top of that, you come off the bench, you have a player like Sophie Cunningham. I know people feel away about Sophie Cunningham, but she can knock down shots. But like, this is a very talented team offensively. I wouldn't be surprised if they were ranked like at least top 5 in offense this upcoming year, maybe even top 3, honestly, depending on how they all gel together. But I mean, I said it. I mean, I think Indiana most definitely won. And honestly, I said that even before DB ended up signing obviously as well, honestly. So I'm a really big fan of this, man. And I love what the organization has done. They've had a really great offseason. Obviously, bringing back Stephanie White, who had a really great tenure at Connecticut. And then, of course, even her first stint at Indiana led them to the finals. And then, of course, with all the signings as well. So they've been really busy this offseason. And I mean, they've shown that, like, hey, we're building something now. Like, we're not going to wait 2, 3, 4 years from now. Like, we think that we have the right team now. And that's what they're going for as far as, winning a title.
Right. And Nick mentioned the offensive end, but in my opinion, like, yes, they got tremendously better on offense, but defensively they got better. You have Sophie that's not the greatest defender, but she's a pest on defense. She's going to be feisty, bring that energy. You have Natasha Howard who can defend, and like Nick said earlier, DB has length. So this was one of the worst teams last year defensively, and I think that we see them take a step forward and get a little bit better this year. Just all around, I love what they're doing. Like I said, year 2, and they're already putting a talented team that can go out there and compete around Caitlin. You really can't ask for anything more. This is like a storybook ending. The WNBA needs her to be successful, and they want her to win. So they're doing what needs to be done to make sure that happens. And again, like I said, I'm not sitting here saying that Indiana is going to be the champions this year, but I do think that they have a shot at the championship. I do think
they got something to say.
Again, I need to see it on the court, but on paper, and if everyone can kind of stay healthy, it looks pretty good. And also, they have, I think, an underrated signing was Jaylen Brown from Chicago. She was hurt most of the last year. She can hoop, bro. Like, when she in the beginning of the season and preseason before she got hurt, she was starting for Dallas. She can score the basketball, and I think that'll be great energy off the bench. Another scoring option off the bench. Like, they have a squad over there, low key in Indiana. They have a squad for sure.
She did come from Dallas, they show. That's right.
Yeah.
I also hang on real quick. I got a bold take, and I need to get y'all's opinion and everybody in the chat's opinion. I believe that, and maybe not the whole season, but through certain parts of the season, if you're Indiana, run the offense through Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah has shown to be a talented scorer, but not only just like being able to put the ball in the basket, she can generate a lot of opportunities because she has such a great vision. She can play with the back to the basket. She can face up, occasionally stretch the floor, knock down 3-point shots. She could do a multitude of things on an offensive end that I believe that could open up so many opportunities for possibly Dewan or for Natasha Howard, for Caitlin and whoever. So I'm not saying that she necessarily has to always be your number one option, but just running things through Aaliyah on certain points of the game, I think that could open up a lot of opportunities on offense.
I'm not mad at it.
I agree.
I'm not mad at it at all.
I don't think she's the number one option to run it through, but I think that they do have to switch it up and run it, run some of it through her. I think we all know Caitlin is, if not the best passer in the WNBA, top 2. So you do need the ball in her hands, but when you have Aaliyah at the high post and she's able to make decisions, I think the Fever played great last year when she had that opportunity to do that. So I'm not mad at that take.
No, I'm not mad at it at all, bro. But and on top of that, like they still said, they were winning when they started running through her, but people was like really just playing with her name last season. So I'm glad
in the league.
Yeah, no, they was really disrespecting her, man. Like 5 games into the season, like it was really nasty what was going on. So, but I'm glad that she's shining. I'm really with you on that take for sure. One more thing before we move on from them is, I'm glad like they got that facility too. They're letting them people know. They're letting free agents know, like, yo, we got a facility coming within the next 2 years. Like we're putting the shovel in the ground. You know what I'm saying? They moving quick. Like they announced it. They did a little ribbon thing, and then they got another announcement like, yeah, we're gonna be done by this time. So that's another thing that's like big with Indiana getting these free agents, because they letting it be known we are here. We're not going nowhere.
I think also people have to realize that a lot of people are solely doing 1-year deals before the CBA. So just because they're signing with Indiana or Dallas right now doesn't guarantee that they're going to be there long term. Like, so next year, I mean, after this season, Indiana can look completely different because DB signed a 1-year deal. I think Natasha signed a 1-year deal. Like Sid signed a 1-year deal. So these players all have the option to leave after this year.
They don't.
I mean, it's same with Kelsey Mitchell, right? Because she's cored. So unless they core her again.
Yeah. Oh man, next year gonna be a bloodbath. So what, Nick?
How many times can you get cored?
Twice.
3?
Twice.
It's twice? Okay. I don't know why I thought it was 3 times. Okay. CBA and 2 expansion teams come. Right. So it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
It's gonna be chaos, and I'm here for it. But on to the Wings. The Wings added was this a trade, right? Dejanay was a trade. Dejanay got traded. Well, first of all, it was it's how you say Nalissa? I always fuck her name. Is it
Nalissa?
Yeah. Nalissa she signed there or got traded there. Dejanay is with the Wings now, and Ty Harris. How y'all feel about this?
First and foremost, man, shout out to Black Love. Black Love.
Sister fought for her family and got it back, baby.
Hey, Kurt Miller said, I got you. Kurt Miller said, I got you. Don't worry, don't trip.
I know, love.
Yeah, don't trip. I don't even think we talked much about this team or like even in our group chat, but Nick, how you feel about these additions to the Wings?
I'm gonna be real. Just the Dejanay move specifically moved me and made me think that this team is definitely a playoff contender, because obviously, acquiring Alyssa, that's a solid pickup as well. But there was still questions to me whether Dallas would be top 8. But to me, acquiring Dejanay, and especially pairing her in the wing next to Paige and Enrique, because let's be real, Paige coming out of this draft, like I think that's gonna make Dallas a really dangerous team. I mean, you gotta think this is a Dejanay Carrington coming off of a most improved season, averaged around 13 a game, five rebounds, almost 2 steals. Like, she was like by far like the 3rd best player, if you ask me, right behind, or in Connecticut, right behind Dewana Bonner and Alyssa Thomas. And now you're bringing over that same momentum from last season, even into this year in Dallas, honestly. So I think it's going to be really good for them, honestly. Dallas is not a team that moves me as a championship contender as of yet, but they'll definitely be in the mix of at least in playoff contention. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do this year, because I think this is going to be a really big year for them, and this could possibly be a turnaround, because Dallas has always been in that same position to me, where it's like they could be playoff contenders, but who really believes in them? So now I think with these acquisitions of Dejanay and Alyssa, then of course you're going to get Paige in the draft. I think it's going to be good for them. So we'll see.
How about you, Lo?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Dallas has had a great offseason or a great free agency, especially considering they went from the second worst team last year with the worst record of 9-31, with the second worst record of 9-31 to, competing to be a playoff team this year, at least on paper with their recent acquisitions. And I think multiple things stick out to me. They lost Satu, but they brought in a lot of pieces that could potentially help this team get over the hump. And just starting with Dejanay, like Nick said, most improved player last year. She had career highs in scoring and rebounding. And she took a huge step last season in just entering the starting lineup of Connecticut. And so I'm expecting her to take another step this year and just progress and gain more confidence in her offensive game. We already know defensively how she is. We already know how skilled she is. And I think she just has to get more definitive and more confident in letting that thing fly. I think she just has to trust the work that she's put into her game. But in my opinion, Dejanay is top 3 two-way players in the league. And she's easily the most athletic guard outside of Kai. I would say it's between those two, Kai and Dejanay, for athleticism. When you see how high she jumps to get those blocks, like she's super athletic. Like she's just super athletic. And she comes from a family of athletes. I think her dad played football. So Dejanay will help Dallas specifically turn their defense around. People's always have had questions about Enrique's defense. So now you have somebody out there that will help. But it's interesting because it's like, how is this lineup going to go? Is Dejanay going to be at the 3? She's been playing,
gotta be.
She got to be when you think about Paige coming. She has to be
right.
the 3.
Paige ain't playing the 3. I mean, yeah, Paige.
How tall is Enrique? Is he even 6 feet? I don't even know.
Remember? Well, maybe you didn't watch it, but it was a video recently.
Yo, I didn't know what 6 surgeries she had. God
it was
damn.
It was a video of Enrique and Hannah, and Enrique wasn't that much taller than Hannah, so she's probably like 5'9", to be honest.
Yeah,
she ain't that tall. So yeah, I think she'll definitely help them defensively. And for Nalissa Smith, outside of the obvious reasons of her being able to play with her girlfriend, I'm glad that she was free from the fever. I mean, she looked miserable last year. Christy's size did not put her in good positions to play to her strengths, and it reflected in her production all last season. From day one, she never had a clear role. She was in the starting lineup sometimes, and other times she barely got PT. So it's hard to be productive when you aren't sure of your role. And I think as a coach, your job is day one. People need to know their role and what they're contributing to the team. So as I said earlier, everyone's not going to average 20 points. Okay, so if you can't average 20 points, I need you to go get 6 rebounds a game. Like I need to know my exact role so I know what I need to do in the game. And I think people don't remember that this is a former number 2 pick. You know what I'm saying? Like Nalissa isn't a scrub. In 2023, she averaged 15 points and 9 rebounds. She almost averaged a double-double. So I think, with her production going down last year, I think she averaged 7 boards and 10 points. I think we see that number go up a little bit this year. I think she will be rejuvenated to play basketball, find her joy for basketball again. And I think I'm just happy that they freed her because she would have been miserable another year in Indiana. And so I'm glad that we get to see her play hoop again. I'm glad we get to see what she can do. And I'm excited. Hopefully she's putting in the work. Hold on real quick. I just thought about it. She played in one unrivaled game and we never saw her again.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Where is she at, bro?
She get hurt. She's not even on injury report or nothing.
Right. She literally played in one game and then we never heard anything again. I literally just thought about that when I was talking.
Yo, I haven't seen her on no injury report. Right. Not one.
Yeah.
What?
That's crazy.
Damn, I didn't think because Nate came back.
Damn.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, I get it that she was a relief player, but remember the other day, 2 of the teams were only playing with 4 people.
Yeah, and we saw what's the name? They moving Natasha ass around, whatever her name is. I don't want to do her bogus. There you go. I don't want to do her bogus.
Out there looking like
so overall, again, I'm saying the same thing about the Wings, like I'm saying about Indiana, I think on paper they are a playoff team, but I want to see what it looks like. But their starting five is going to be tough too. I mean, I still don't know what they're going to do. I get they still got Big T, so there's no telling what's going. There's no telling what's going on, and there's going to be less shots this year. Now she was already pissed running up and down the court last year, but it's going to be less shots. You got Paige taking shots, you got Enrique taking shots. DeJanae going to try to get her. You know, she likes to
try to get her.
She going to try to get some in.
Definitely.
You still got Maddie Segrist coming off the bench. Like they got a nice core, and I think they also got the 12th pick, so they can get somebody like whoever is down. I don't know who they're predicting to go 12, but so they can still make a little bit of noise. I like what Kurt Miller is doing. If Indiana didn't have such a great free agency, I would say that Dallas won, but I'm still going with Indiana right now. But I forgot about that. Maisha too. Maisha off the bench. Yeah. Like they're hooping. Like they got some players. They got some players for sure.
They making the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
They're definitely making the playoffs. Like I said, I think the DeJanae piece alone makes them a playoff contender. And it's crazy because DeJanae's not like a franchise cornerstone or anything, but she does make a big difference, especially
you need that two-way player. You need that two-way player.
You do.
Exactly.
You need that shit for sure. 8th, you got them going 8th. All right. Before we get out of free agency, Tina Charles went to Connecticut, man. Lo, how you feel about that?
I mean, I think if sister's trying to get paid, that's it. That's all I got for that. It's going to be no winning in Connecticut. They are in a full rebuild. So it's very confusing to me because Tina Charles doesn't have a ring. So I would assume that she was ring chasing. But I get it. She knows that her days of playing are she has less days ahead of her playing than she does behind her. So go get your bag, sister. I get it. But she's not winning anything. As soon as I saw her sign there, my first reaction was why. But then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, so she doesn't want a ring, she just wants the bread. And I get that. 47's in office, the price of things are gonna go up. Get your money, sister.
No, facts. How about you, Nick? Move on, man.
Next topic.
All right, man. On to the historic weekend we just had. Hey, Wiley, you funny as hell for that, but that was one of the moments. On to this historic weekend we had, man. We had Asia Wilson, if you don't know her name, got her jersey retired, and I'm not going to disregard the other young lady. Caitlin Clark got hers retired as well. It's funny they both 22, but we know who the biggest 22. First of all, before I've been going to accolades and anything like that, man, what does this mean to women's basketball to y'all?
You go first, Lo.
I think it's special. I think it's a special moment for both. I think both are very deserving to get their jerseys retired. I think Caitlin Clark getting hers retired was a little bit premature, deserved, but she hasn't even been out of school for an entire year yet. So let her experience some of her professional career and then come back and have a nice celebration. But it is what it is. I get it. She is Iowa. And no one deserves to wear number 22 there again. And I get that. And I completely agree. She changed the landscape of that college in regards to women's basketball. So got it. Cool. Now, Asia, the resume speaks for itself. Championship at every level. Just a special moment. And Asia, to me, is just the epitome of an exceptional Black woman. At the age of 27 or 28, I don't know if she's 27 or 28, one of those two. She just 28. Okay, so she's just so gracious. She moves with a sense of confidence that you wish that all young Black girls had. And to be honest, and just looking at how she moves and what she represents, if I had a daughter, I would certainly want Asia to be one of her role models. She's just it. Her parents raised her the right way. And this is we're not even talking about the on the court stuff. We're just talking about her as a human being. And anyone that knows Asia on a personal level, everyone has repeatedly said every single time that she's a better person than she is a basketball player. And that's crazy because if I'm the best player in the world, I'm on my shit. I'm talking my shit all day, every day. I'm probably not going to be humble. I'm going to be honest with you. But she is just seems super humble. And the few occasions where I have met her and have had a chance to interact with her, like she's always just been gracious and humble. You know, so now on a basketball standpoint, I think that, like I said, the resume speaks for itself. I think Asia, along with Tiffany Mitchell, put South Carolina women's basketball on the map to make them the powerhouse that they are today. If Asia did not go to South Carolina, we wouldn't see people like Fo Wiley there. We wouldn't see people like Joyce Edwards there. Like, she started that movement. And for that alone, solely for that alone, like, her jersey should be in the rafters forever. And I'm glad that it is. And just in general, I just love that Asia is getting the flowers that she deserves from her people. Like, South Carolina loves Asia down. And they showed up, they showed out, and I'm just glad that she's getting the flowers because she's often overlooked. Last year she had a historic season. National didn't give a shit. They didn't talk about it at all. Like,
I feel like we was the only people talking about that shit.
Yeah, just like the podcasts and smaller media companies, like, we were the only ones really bigging it up. Like, they wanted to talk about a hit track for 3 weeks. They wanted to talk about somebody poking somebody in the eye accidentally because you're playing a contact sport. Like, we're not talking about somebody that scored 1,000 points in the season. We're not talking about somebody that just won MVP again. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about somebody that had a historic season. We're not talking about that. We're talking about BS. And so I'm glad that she's able to go home. And I'm glad that she was able to get the love that she deserved. And shout out to her, shouting her man out. My man. And I love it that he's loving her down.
I love it, man. Like I love that. That's how you got to do it.
Like I tweeted, and like I said, it is nothing better than being loved properly. And she came out with that article today talking about how he holds her down, and that's all you can ask for. So shout out to Asia. Shout out to her parents for raising such a excellent human being. And also shout out to Caitlin for just changing the landscape of Iowa. What you got, Nick?
Everything you said, I agreed. I mean, I think Asia pretty much set the standard that South Carolina really helped them become like a powerhouse that they are, honestly. And I think it all started with her. I mean, that 2017 tournament run was just ridiculous, honestly. I have some of the numbers. She averaged 19 a game, 8 rebounds, nearly 3 blocks. Even in the Final Four against Stanford, she had 13 points and 19 rebounds, honestly. And it's crazy to see. It's crazy to think, though, because I went back and I watched the highlights, and I'm thinking, like, man, like, Asia's came a long way because she was just as dominant then, but her game wasn't even as polished as it is today. Like,
it was not.
Her number wasn't there. Like, she was really good at attacking the rim, and of course, her low post scoring was really spectacular. But Asia then was just super dominant, just super spectacular, honestly. But like I said, I mean, she was definitely the standard of what took place in South Carolina as far as really building a winning culture out there. I mean, of course, it all started with Dawn because Dawn had been there for so many years before Asia, but getting that player like Asia Wilson pretty much started everything as far as building that winning culture now. And then you were able to see it translate from her to then Aaliyah Boston to then players like Camila Cardoso. And then, of course, the list goes on, honestly. And because of her, honestly, I believe South Carolina is going to be one of the more premier programs over the next couple of decades, honestly, if you ask me. I think Dawn is by far the best coach in the country. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So shout out to Asia. And as for Caitlin, I definitely agree with Lo. I believe that it was premature, honestly. I mean, you don't really see that, somebody jersey retire like right after their college career, especially, I mean, hell, it's been less than a year since she played her last college game and they already have her jersey up in the rafters. Now, look, it's definitely well deserved. Nobody's going to disagree with that, but we just think that it definitely could have been probably a couple more years down the pipeline, honestly. But it's no question, Caitlin is the greatest player in Iowa history, honestly. And I just want for people to just understand, because I mean, I understand there's probably some viewers out there who are new to the women's basketball point of things, but Caitlin has been dominant in college since day one. Like,
day one.
People don't realize she led the country in scoring in 3 of her 4 seasons in college basketball. Start dating back to her freshman year where she averaged around 27, 28 a game. And I'll be real, I mean, her junior year was pretty much when she really got put on the map. But let's just also be honest. That was also the same year that Paige Beckers missed the entire year with the ACL injury. Paige was really the superstar. And then, look, give credit to Caitlin because Caitlin definitely took advantage of the opportunity and became dominant. I know people probably don't want to hear about this, but I'll be real. Like, that Final Four game against South Carolina in 2023, I mean, 41 points, 8 assists, 8 turnovers as well, but that's neither here nor there. But just pretty much putting the team on her back. And she scored more than half of the team's points on it because I think Iowa finished 77, 78 points, something like that. So she had 41 of those. And it was just really great to see her just be able to just have so much control of the game, like especially on the offensive end, both scoring and of course playmaking as well. And then of course everybody knows she ended up breaking the scoring record. She also scored 49 points in that matchup as well against Michigan. Had a couple game winners. I remember one of the first ones was against Indiana during her junior year. Then she had another one against Michigan State, which was her senior year as well. Another really great game as well was this past year in the Elite Eight against LSU. She had 41, 7 and 7 rebounds and 12 assists in that matchup, giving Haley Van Lith hell. And I really don't know why Kim I really don't even know why Kim was sticking Haley Van Lith on Caitlin Clark, but just that revenge game, honestly. I mean, obviously, for those who know, LSU had beat Iowa in the national championship the year prior, so that was pretty much really a revenge game for her, and she stepped up to the plate, honestly. So Caitlin has been dominant in college from day one. Like I said, led the country in scoring, and I want to say she led the country in assists, I think, for like a couple years as well, honestly. But when her numbers, in college, you just see how spectacular of a player she was and why that's been able to translate over to the WNBA.
Man, y'all said all that shit perfectly fine for me, but I will say this though about speaking on Asia. I just love this for her because it's like I remember her being in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, and everybody was just like, man, who is this hooper with the leg sleeve? And now she got a statue and her jersey retired. You know what I'm saying? Like now everybody knows, and it's just wonderful. If we had a daughter, Asia was on the table, spelled just like that. That was gonna be her name. So it's like I love for young Black girls to have this someone like Asia, the role model that she is. Like she just, when you just see her, like I haven't met her as much as Lo, but she is just down to earth. If you ask for a picture, she's gonna give it. She's not gonna be nasty. When you see her on the internet, that's how she is in person. This is not like no fake stuff. And just to know that she's a better person than Hooper. Yo, just that's insane for people to even say that, and multiple people say it. So, shout out to her, man, and we love that for her, man. We love that she got her jersey retired, and like you said, everybody's showing out. You got people from Unrivaled flying there. You got Alicia Gray, who never her teammate. She flew there. You know what I'm saying? She could have just been resting. She had to go there. She could have been chilling. She had to show up or nothing like that. But she's showing up. Bam showing up. Like it's just
fresh off the game winner too.
Yeah, off a game winner.
Up.
You know what I'm saying? He's sitting between the parents and shit. You know what I'm saying? They locked in.
That's how you know they locked in. He's sitting in between the parents.
Yeah, they for sure locked in. Yeah.
Yo, if he's sitting between like he the kid, man, they're locked in. So I love that for sure. And on the side of Caitlin Clark, man, like, even though she brought terrible fans, we ain't gonna get too far into that, but she brought a lot of more eyes that we needed. You know what I'm saying? Because she is exciting, but we know what comes with that. But I'm with y'all. Premature. You gotta wait at least. Let her be in the league a few years. Let them miss her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, like y'all said, last year she's still playing college basketball. She's not even in the Big Ten tournament yet last year. So it's like, it's way too early, but it's fine. I'm with it. She's well deserved of having that. Like you said, Lo, nobody should wear 22 at Iowa ever again. Like that nobody even, the next recruit should not be able to come in like, I want 22. No, that should not happen. So shout out to them ladies. How y'all feel about, real quick, if we move on to Asia Shu real quick, how you feel about people ranking her and she don't have no championship? I'm talking about Caitlin, of course.
Ranking her in what?
Like they said, they've been trying to put her with the tops, like the people who've won in college basketball. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, nope. Respectfully.
We can move. Low reaction. Let me know everything right there. Period.
I mean, just real quick though, was like, Caitlin did have a great college career. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know how you can put her in the same conversation as other players if she's never won a national title. Like, it's hard for me to put her in the same conversation as Stewie, who won 4 titles at UConn, Candace won 2 titles at Tennessee, Cheryl Swoops won a title at Texas Tech. Cheryl Miller won titles at USC. The list can go on and on. Like, winning will put you in that pedestal as all-time great status, no matter what it is, professional or even in college. And it don't matter what sport it is. If you don't win a championship respectfully, especially if you get to the national championship twice and you lose, it's hard for me to put you in that conversation. Now, look, this is not disrespect to Caitlin. Caitlin did have a monster college career, but I can't put her in a conversation as like one of the greatest of all time just because of that. You know, her not being able to win a championship, especially considering that she had 2 opportunities to do it and she didn't do it.
Yes.
The argument to that is what I've been seeing people say is because she went to Iowa. And my rebuttal to that is no one put a gun to her head and told her to go to Iowa. She chose to go to Iowa. And she knew that by not going, and I really respect it too. Like I respect, you know, Juju staying home and going to USC. I respect Asia, you know, staying home and going to South Carolina before South Carolina was a powerhouse. So I do respect it. I do respect when players do that, then going to the same old Tennessee and UConn, and you know what I'm saying? Like I do respect that. However, a championship is a championship. You know what I'm saying? Asia went to South Carolina when nobody was going there, and guess what? She won one. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
Who was really going to Texas Tech like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
exactly. I was gonna say that.
Charles Swoops won one. So it's just hard for me to put her in those conversations now. Can we say that she has had one of the best college careers ever, man or woman? Absolutely. We can say that. But when we're talking about like the best ever in college, you have to have some hardware, in my opinion. And people have been moving the goalposts. So now they're like, oh, we're talking hardware in college. We've always talked about hardware. You know what I'm saying? Like we've always talked about it. Like you can't just decide when we're using that argument and not. Like it has to be consistent. And so for me, I'm consistent in all my arguments at every level, whether it's high school, college, or professionally. To be the best, you have to go win. So, for example, no one was going to USC before Juju went there. Now, this year, they had the #1 freshman recruiting class. She has that much motion that people want to come and play with her. Where was Caitlin's motion? And that's not even being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she really had the motion that people are claiming she had, why couldn't she attract people to Iowa to go out there and win?
Man, it's a great argument. Like, that's dead ass. That's facts right there. Damn.
But I mean, it's like she said, I mean, winning matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to win in order to be placed in that conversation. It's like, for instance, like, we know how spectacular Juju is, but if Juju were to come out of college and never win a title, I can't put her in that same combo as the other players that I mentioned.
Agreed.
And she's a phenomenal player.
These are all facts. I what up, K-Dot? Motion.
I mean, that's real. That's real though. Like you have to win.
It
like
is.
Consider the best. And then so for her to get in the or compete in the national championship twice and not win. So you were good enough to get your team there, but you weren't good enough to go win. Like you got your team there. Now I can see if they didn't even make it close to the Final Four because her teams were just that bad. Like, but that wasn't the case. You got there twice. And what did you do? So great college career. One of the best to ever play college basketball. But when we're talking about like champions, when we're talking about actual that's not her. That's not her. When she had that Nike jacket on and they had all her accomplishments, it was nothing on there that said national champion.
Not her.
My goat got 2 of them things.
No, facts.
And only played 3 seasons. So what's up?
No, you're right. Dead ass.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't.
This is all good. This is all good points. I didn't even thought about half the shit you were saying. Like, but that's all facts though. You are, man, Lowe's going. You cooking, Lowe. You definitely cooking. We go real quick. Nick, I'm gonna let you do the honors, Nick. Go ahead.
Oh,
go
ahead. Are we here?
We're here. Go ahead. Please.
A1's dropping in May. The design has been released by the one and the only Asia Wilson. Wally, pull up the pictures, please, so the audience can see. Look at that, man. Look at that. You got the pink and everything. I think she has something like inside the shoe that like represented her.
Yeah, she got all type of the details. Insane, bro.
Details are insane.
A1. I'm copying me a pair. I don't care what anybody got to say.
Yeah.
Oh, keep going.
And my birthday's in May, so anybody out here listening, if you want to give me a birthday gift,
you are funny as hell.
I'm a size 8, 8.5 in women.
And you a size 8.5 in women. If I run out of 13, I'm coming for you, man. I ain't playing that game.
Yeah, well, 13 is crazy.
You're
gonna definitely have to like find you a pair for sure.
I might have to.
The one good thing I also like about this is it's affordable. $110 for most families is it's still expensive for most families, but it's not $200. You know what I'm saying? And so I love the rollout. I love everything about it. But like I tweeted and like I said, Asia could have put out Payless shoes and I was still buying it. I'm always going to support Black excellence. And then the hoodie with the satin in the hood. I'm like, if you know, you know.
Fire.
Like if you know, you know. Like that just
fire.
Like I found out that it was satin in the hoodie, bro. Like I literally just started cheesing from ear to ear. Like, hold on, Lo, I got you. Hold on now. Yeah. I appreciate it. But yeah, so like I just love how Asia y'all know I'm super pro Black. So I just love how Asia loves Blackness. And she's always gonna just exude Black excellence. And I love that for me as a Black woman, and I love that for her and all the women that she's inspiring.
I agree 100%. Honestly, like I love Asia Wilson so much. They could have had Big Baller brand make her shoes.
Period.
I would have gotten a pair.
We would have still bought them, but ain't no way you was gonna hoop in them.
Hell no. All kinds of fucked
up. Big Baller, dog.
I'm about to buy like 6 pairs. Shit, after every pickup game. Shit, damn, the fucking soul fell out. God damn.
I draw the line there. We still would buy them, but I draw the line. I'm not gonna hoop in no Big Baller brand. No sub. But shout out to her, man. It's been a long time coming. Then listen, before we move on, it's a lot of y'all say y'all don't pay attention to her, but y'all was definitely talking about her today. Y'all was definitely had Asia in your mouth, all in your tweets. And y'all definitely checking for her, man.
We know in particular who you're talking about.
And for me, when I don't care for somebody, I don't follow them. I don't talk to them. I don't do none of that. Like I don't go looking at what you're talking about. If I don't follow you, none of that. If I muted you, I'm not looking for you. Period. If I don't fuck with you, so that's why I said today, man. All the little trolls, aka racists, was gonna be out today since Asia dropped her shoe and shit like that, and they was out there, but just ignore them. It's her day.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, these shoes are gonna be sold out, and it's so hilarious because it was people on Beyonce's internet literally saying that she didn't have motion.
Shout out Beyonce. Shout out. She has she got Nike checks.
She literally has the A1 logo in her grills. Like, come on, bro. It's levels. Like, come on.
I gotta take a photo of that. That's hard. That's hard. I'm like, oh shit. That shit's super hard.
She's the one, never the two. And guess what? She coming back better next year. I'm gonna just let y'all know that now.
She is, yo.
Better next year.
She look in July shape. Like she's ready to go. Yo.
She's hungry. She hungry.
She is.
I'm hoping that she's hearing all the disrespect. I'm hoping that she saw that nobody gave a shit about what she did last year. Not nobody, but national media didn't care about her historic year. Like, I'm hoping she sees all of that. And they said DoorDash even tweeted about the shoe. I saw that too.
I did not see. I saw Pop Bags. I didn't see DoorDash.
She didn't have motion. People told me she didn't have motion.
Man, every time they tell me somebody ain't got no motion, man, they keep coming with some more shit. That person who they could be talking about,
and guess what? It's always a Black woman doing it.
It's always. But
no, I'm gonna talk to one person in particular. Honestly, if you ain't got nothing good to say about Asia Wilson, keep her name out your mouth. Just that simple. Honestly, I mean, she's done so much, and the fact that she came out with a shoe and y'all still finding a way to hate. And you in particular, I'm not gonna say the name, but I'm sure Lone and Jay know who I'm talking about. Keep her name out your mouth, honestly, respectfully.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. Yes. And shout out to my brother and sister though, because they be letting me know about some shit I be needing to know. So
JB so friendly with WNBA Twitter. I had to send him a text.
I be having
Like, yeah, we not rocking with her. Yeah, we not rocking with him. But one thing I will say about Jay, he don't even ask why. He just be like, all right, bet.
Ain't no questions. Ain't no questions about it.
Like, I'm the one running down. Like, they said this, they're racist, they did this, and he like, before I even say all that, he's already like, all right, bet, say less.
Yeah, like if y'all, because y'all don't say that shit about everybody. Once they say it, I be like, all right, shit, I believe it. Shit, y'all been in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a nice dude till I'm not. So it's like once I find out, I ain't got to be, checking with you no more. But but yeah, shout out Asia. Go ahead.
Real quick, Asia, if you are listening, please have some merch for the men, dog. Can I get some Asia sweatpants, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I rock the shoes. I want the shoes. I can rock the hoodie too, but I just want some sweats, or I just want some shorts.
Jimmy get some. Yeah, I don't think them shorts was man cut. I don't think them shorts was man cut. I don't think so. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I understand what she's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially the one with the longer leg. But yo, I need some other merch for the men, Asia. Like, I know there be men out here that be disrespect you, but for the men that do appreciate you, we need some merch, man.
Y'all don't want to wear the hoochie daddies like why we have another day?
Oh my God, this got Wally just gonna put Wally out there. Get the socks. Y'all funny as hell.
I think it was Dayshell. She said they come in other colors.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I agree. I think maybe once they see how, the first shipment and things go, I think they'll maybe open it up to some more men's stuff. But yeah, like sister got me ready to get the one legging. I don't even hoop. Like,
hey, that shit hard. I'll fuck around and get that shit though. I ain't gonna hold you though.
I'm not that shit. You're on your own on that
step out with the one legging. I'm going to be weak.
Hey. You're on your own on that one, brother.
Hey.
Look at that show. Get the shorts, Wiley.
Hey, get the shorts, Wiley. It's crazy. Yo, listen. Yo, hey Nick, I can't wear the one leg, yo. The pink joint. I can't.
I say you can't, but I'm not. That's up to you.
Oh shit. All right, we're gonna move on, but I'm gonna ask y'all this, Lo and Nick. Y'all want to talk about college, or just want to go to on ride and get the fuck up out of here?
Let's at least talk about USC getting cooked.
Let's do it. Go ahead, kick it off, Lo. Kick it off.
So as we talked about earlier, USC played Iowa, and that was Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement. Tough loss for USC on the road. I'm not making a big deal of this loss, to be honest. They've been on the road for several games, especially with the fires unfortunately happening in LA. In my opinion, just simply put, USC came out flat from the beginning of the game. I commend Iowa's head coach for getting her team prepared and ready for, the daunting task of facing a top 5 ranked team. I don't think USC's coach did the same. I think when a player is getting their jersey retired, the home team is going to come out with a little bit more energy and juice to secure that win as getting their jersey retired. And Iowa did exactly that, holding one of the top scoring teams in the country to 4 total first quarter points.
Yo, I can't believe that shit.
So nasty. Like, I literally thought I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, bro, it's not.
I couldn't.
No way it's 18-4 right now. It's absolutely no way. Because in fact, USC was a 12-point favorite. Like, they were supposed to cook them. Hell, we were on the podcast talking about Juju gonna have 50 and they gonna win by 30. And that did not happen. We were completely wrong. USC did rally back and ended up coming and taking the lead at half. Juju hit a last second shot to take the lead at the half, but they came out flat out of the locker room. Olsen was cooking, bro. Her and O'Grady scored 28 of I think they scored Olsen had 28 points on the night, but I think her and O'Grady scored like 23 of the 25 points that they had in the fourth quarter. So they were just cooking. Juju didn't have a great shooting night, shot 36% from the field, ended with 28 points. But again, like I said, it's a tale oldest time, like they say on Beauty and the Beast. Zero emotional offense is get Juju the ball and ISO. Kiki baby. I don't know why you came to USC. I'm sorry. I mean, it's literally lowering her draft stock. And honestly, some of it's not even her fault. Like, it's how she's literally how she's being utilized out there. She's not putting she's almost utilized like Nalissa was utilized in Indiana. We don't know her role. We don't like. They don't run plays for her. Like, it's just, I don't really understand what's going on. And I'm kind of just waiting, thinking like, hey, you know, they still need time to gel because it's a brand new team. But it's like, girl, how long am I going to have to wait? Like, I just don't know if this was the smartest move for her professional career. She'll still, of course, make the WNBA. She'll still, of course, like be on the roster. But is she improved? Has she improved from last year? I haven't seen it. What do y'all think?
Man, she definitely looks worse than what she did last year. But how she looked to you when I saw them a couple of weeks ago, I was seeing stuff I can tell she'd be confused. Like she wasn't doing screens all the way, like she was halfway doing it. Cause I feel like I feel like what you're saying she feels. She don't know what the hell.
She's thinking too much. I don't know. I really don't know, because you're right. Like even on a pick and roll, she doesn't even stay sturdy for her pick. She just
she don't.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, are you slipping? Because it's not even like you're not even slipping to the basket. Like, so I'm not really sure what she's doing. They said Lindsay's gone next season. I really don't think she is, because they've only lost 2 games. So they'll probably lose maybe one more.
Does Juju got to say she want her out?
But I don't think Juju wants her out, though. That's the thing. Like, I think that she likes her as a coach. Like, I think that. So this is my thing. And I had to take a step back because I have been hard on Lindsay. And Lindsay has experience in the NBA. She can. It's no way you get experience in the NBA without being able to coach to some degree. So I'm not here to bash her or say that she's a terrible coach. But I will say that once I took a step back from it and took emotions out of it, it's difficult to coach talent. And we've been calling Juju a generational player, a generational talent. It's difficult. Like, Lindsay went from having a team that didn't have a ton of talent, right? To, she said it would be like 30 people in the stands watching them, to a powerhouse that now people want to go there and play because of the Juju effect, right? So not only do you have to coach Juju, a generational talent, you have to coach Kiki, who is probably a top 5 WNBA player, you know, in the draft for the draft. You have to coach the number 1 freshman recruiting class. So you have so much talent on this team. And I think people don't realize coaches like Phil Jackson and Pop, who or Pat Riley, who have coached very talented players. Like, it's a skill set to coach really talented players, because you have to know how to challenge them. You have to know how to push their buttons to make them do the things that you want them to do. And I'm not sure that she is doing that. I'm not even going to say I'm not sure. She's not doing that. Coach Lindsay is not doing that at a high level. And I don't know if it's just going to take more time, or this is just like her peak or her pinnacle of coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to give them more time, but it's simple things I don't see. Like, I'm concerned that it's all ISO when Juju has help now. I'm concerned that players aren't staying long enough in pick and rolls. Like, why are we, like, it's just simple, basic basketball things that we learned as middle schoolers. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think she'll be gone, because I think her and Juju have a bond. And some things are more important in basketball, like building connections with people are more important in basketball. But I need my sister to go win a national championship so I can talk as much shit as possible. Okay?
Yeah. No,
and it ain't happening with Lindsay, respectfully. And I'm gonna throw this out there. This is a hot take. If Juju can win a national championship with Lindsay Gottlieb being the head coach, I will say that she's the best college basketball player of all time. If she can go win a national championship with Lindsay being her head coach, because she's battling against Lindsay and the opponent at that point, right? Best college player ever.
Hey, we'll make sure that's clipped. We're gonna make sure, but I feel you though, because like, I'm gonna let you go, nigga. It's like certain things, like when it's certain things she does that's not only have to do with X's and O's that pisses me off. Like watching Caitlyn get her damn jersey. Man, get the fuck on, man. We don't want to sit here and watch this shit, man.
Yeah.
Why were y'all gonna watch that shit win or lose? Why are y'all trying to watch that? And then
it's a cultural thing. That's a cultural thing.
Yeah, and look how Juju and Kiki looked in that press conference. Yo, they didn't want to be sitting there.
Bro, sick.
Think about that shit, dog. They didn't want to be. And so it's like little things like Lindsay is a sweet person, but it's like certain things in X's and O's and critical basketball stuff, she's just not good at. When you sit back and watch it, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and that is a crazy hot take, but I mean, I'm with you though. It's like, damn, you won with that coach? How the fuck you do that? Like, how'd you manage to win a national championship with that? So I don't think Lindsay gonna be gone at all. So we'll see about that. But as far as Kiki, I do want to ask y'all, Nick, maybe you know Nick. Did Kiki have other options? Like, was it just Stanford or USC? Like, who else was trying to get her? Was she just automatically going to USC?
No, she was supposed to go to South Carolina too. It was between South Carolina and USC.
Oh shit, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, it was between the final two was South Carolina and USC. But people thought that she stayed at USC because it was you know, it was on the West Coast, closer, LA, closer to her family and stuff like that, instead of flying all the way across country to South Carolina.
Yo, I had no idea, yo.
And then people also, I think she probably didn't sign there because of the distance, but also because of she thought she was going to get less touches when hell, she not getting great touches in USC. And the craziest part is her numbers are not that far off from last year.
They are.
But from the eye test, it does not look good. Like, it just doesn't look good, at least.
It doesn't at all. But Nick, how you feel about Kiki before we move on?
I think a lot of it does have to do with coaching, because there's many times where Kiki just looks lost, and she's such a dynamic player. So it's like you would expect her to understand, how to play, especially on the offensive end. But there are many times where she's lost. Like, there's many times where she doesn't know how to play pick and roll. There's many times where she definitely second guesses herself whenever she does catch the ball. And even in the Iowa game, just watch it from early on, just her blowing layups. Like, it was really just taking me off, honestly, because it's literally from point blank range, and you're literally just missing these opportunities. I'll be honest and say it. Like, I do think that her draft stock is dropping, honestly. Now, look, I still think that she could be top 5 without question, because Ira Finn is definitely a very talented player. But just based off of her performance throughout the season, has been very inconsistent, honestly. It's been very underwhelming compared to what we saw last year when she was at Stanford. And I get it, that was an entirely different situation with her playing under Tara Vanderveer, and then of course playing next to Cameron Brink. So I guess maybe this new situation has just not been in her favor, honestly. You can tell throughout the season. I mean, look, she's had some dominant performances, but they haven't been able to carry over throughout the course of the season, honestly. But just overall thoughts on the game. I mean, USC, they came out super sloppy. I went back and watched the game on Monday, and they didn't score their first field goal until like 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Like, really insane. Like, they had 1 point up until like 25, 26 seconds left in the first quarter. And I even tweeted about it the other day. Like, I do believe that the traveling has had something to do with,
absolutely,
honestly. Because I mean, even not even this game, honestly. Like, I remember the game against Maryland, and then I think they played another game. Like, they started the game sluggish. You could tell at the beginning of games, where they're not necessarily locked in the way that they need to. But when you look at their travel schedule, like, they play, like, for instance, they played Rutgers. Then they played Maryland right after that game, and then they went back home and played a game. Then they had to go back on the road for like 2 games, then come back home for maybe 2 games. So it's just a constant back and forth. And going from one coast to the next is not an easy adjustment, honestly, especially when you play,
especially multiple times like that. Yeah,
exactly. So that's one thing that I hate about, like, the Pac-12 not being there, because at least you had all the close teams together, like UCLA, USC, Colorado, Arizona. Like, everybody was close together. Now they got to go out east and play Ohio State. Now they got to go out east to play Rutgers or Maryland or Wisconsin or whoever it is. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, give credit to them, because for the most part, they have been able to take care of business and still find ways to win games. But I just feel like that's definitely played a factor in why they haven't really been as strong as they need to be, honestly. But aside from that, I mean, look, I definitely believe the USC will bounce back, honestly. I know that we all have our questions about Lindsay as a head coach, but at the end of the day, the team still has number 12 on their team. And, as long as she's on the court, then, they're always going to be successful.
Big Jew, not little.
Big Jew. Let's see. Real quick, Maryland top 25 shit. Real quick, Maryland lost to Illinois 66-65. NC State beat Duke. I didn't even realize that shit. Kentucky beat. I did not realize that shit at all. How did I miss this when I read this shit earlier? Kentucky beat the shit out. Well, it don't look like it, but they did. Kentucky beat Oklahoma.
Georgia Amore with
43. She was getting to it. I watched the whole game. She was getting to it. She was getting to it. She had like 28 after 3. So she was, and it wasn't like
her draft stock in the last couple of weeks. Her draft stock has improved a little bit.
It has for sure. But outside, how you say her name? Michaela Blake's 53 against Florida, big buckets. It was real buckets.
Freshman of the year.
It was real buckets. Yo, she got Vanderbilt.
Yes. Freshman of
the
year.
I'm not mad at it.
He's been saying it, so I ain't mad at that shit at all. I ain't mad at that.
I was not hip. I am hip now.
Yo, it was real buckets too. It was real buckets. It was real buckets. It wasn't no bullshit.
I know we hopping forward. That's my player of the week, and I'm sure it's one of y'all's too.
No, Georgia, hey, more mine.
Okay, Georgia. Okay, yeah, I'm going with Michaela. Listen, bro, she is the goods. Like Vanderbilt, they have themselves a good player for the next 4 years.
No, they do.
She can score all 3 levels. She can shoot the 3. She can take you off the dribble. She can finish through contact. She can hit the midi. Just a bucket. Can just score it in multiple ways. I was not hip, and now I am. And so she beat Juju's freshman scoring record of 51 last year with her 53 points. And she's averaged 34 points in the last 2 games on 63% shooting from the field. Like, come on, bro. She's hooping. She's
hooping. No, and it was like I said, it was real bucket. And they ranked now. She got Vanderbilt in the top 25 at 24. Like,
you don't understand how many times players would get hit under that screen, and she just kills them every time.
Yep.
So y'all go check her out.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Vanderbilt yet, I would highly advise you to, honestly, because Michaela Blake is definitely the real deal.
No, she definitely is.
But I gotta give love. I gotta give love to my runner-up, Hannah Hidalgo. Come on, bro. Hannah's the best player in the country. I'm sorry. It's not like I kept going back and forth between her and Lauren Betts. I've seen enough. Hannah's National Player of the Year.
No, she is.
Put together 2 back-to-back 30-point performances against Virginia Tech and then Louisville. And she's done it twice now. She joins Jewel Lloyd as one of the only players to do that in the last 25 years at that school. And she averaged 32 points, 5 assists while shooting 57% from the field. Like, that's the thing. She's doing it on both ends of the floor, but she's doing it so efficiently. Like, it's just crazy. Like, Hannah was good last year, but she's even better. So I'm actually excited to see what she looks like as a senior, because I literally can't imagine her continuing to just push the envelope and get better and better and better. Like, this year she's grown like mentally so much. Like, she still has lapses in her basketball IQ, but like compared to last year, you can just see the maturation. Like, I'm a huge fan, as you already know, but like Hannah's been hooping, bro. Like a fucking dog. Like, Hannah Hidalgo, for real. She's a fucking dog.
No, like, dead ass, yo, for sure. No, for real. No, she really is hooping. I think I've seen enough too. Like, she's definitely the best player in the country, man. Nothing against Lauren Betts. Hannah's the best player in the country.
And I love Lauren Betts. Shout out to her. I think she had 7 or 8 assists the other day. She's hooping, but like Hannah's just on a different level and undersized. I know I always bring that up, but at 5'6",
it's important.
You gotta bring it up. You gotta bring it up.
On all this, like, come on. And then on both ends of the floor, like, you can't even get a break on defense, because 9 times out of 10, you probably defending one of the best guards, on the other, or the wings on the other end of the floor. So, and then averaging 5 or 6 rebounds at 5'6". Come on, bro. It's levels.
Oh yeah, dog. To average 6 rebounds a game at 5'6", I mean, you want that rebound,
right? Effort.
That shit ain't just falling into you and lap 6 times. Like, you want that.
Yeah,
you want that rebound, shit. But yeah, man, college was hectic this weekend. It was fun, but like, recap real quick. I'm not worried about the USC loss against Iowa. It was just a perfect storm for Iowa at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, on to Unrivaled real quick. Week 3 recap of Unrivaled, man. I think we had some good games this week. I'm trying to go back to see. Monday we had Lunar Owls and Vinyl. We had Laces and Rose. Is that the game Angel got ejected in? Was that Monday or Friday?
Night, yeah, that was Saturday.
Was it Saturday? Damn, these days. But we had a good week, man. Real quick, Nick, how you feel about Phantom? Phantom had like a good showing. Like, it's like they trying. Do you believe in them, or we're just like, man, it was just a good night for them?
Phantom is slowly improving. I'll definitely give them the credit because in week 1 it was atrocious. I mean, especially when they got by the laces like that. Like, but they have started to come around. You know, I love how they're really putting an emphasis on really getting the ball to BG on the low block and allowing her to just utilize her size and her skill set, you know, to be able to score on easy opportunities inside. The biggest thing about it is like if Sabrina is not in the lineup consistently, then it's like it's really hard for me to really believe in Phantom really elevating as like one of the top contenders in the league, honestly. But whenever she does play, she does give good production, especially as a scorer and as a playmaker. You're starting to see better production out of Satu Sabali as well. So I'm not gonna put him in that conversation as like the Lunar Owls or even the Laces per se. But I will say I will say that, you know, Phantom has slowly progressed throughout this season, so I'm definitely impressed because they have came a long way from week 1.
They have, man. Like Satu got some money. She on a new team. Like she trying to hoop. You know, Sabrina came back. She heard us talking crazy about her. Rightfully so.
That might be a good question though. Like maybe the stress of like free agency maybe got to them. Maybe they were distracted.
Oh yeah.
Satu was trying to get out of Dallas. BG was testing free agency, trying to get out of Phoenix. Who knows?
That shit probably is stressful. They look happier. You know what I'm saying? Like ever since the shit went down, they look so much happier. Yeah, Satu look happy. She got bounce to her. You know what I'm saying? Like she hooping. So that is something you gotta look at for real. What else happened this week? Lo, what's some that stood out to you this week on Unrivaled?
Skylar Diggins hitting her 4th like game winner.
Hold on, the street saying you can't count the free throw.
No, it's still clutch.
Okay, bro. 3rd game winner. Okay, whatever. I'll change it. Hitting another game winner. Like I don't know why they keep allowing her to take the last shot if you're defending her. I'm not sure why. So love that. You know, the team that I'm aligning with is undefeated. They do need to change the rules though. The referees have been absolutely terrible. I hope they do not come to the WNBA.
Yes.
But they also need to change. It was just like too many foul calls, and it interferes with the pace of the game. It makes it longer. It makes it just not as enjoyable. So yeah, I'm sick of the refs, and also I'm sick of winning on a free throw. Like I hate that, and they need to change.
I hate that so much.
I literally hate it. They need to change it, please, by next year. Actually, people were in my comments like they need to change this shit by next week. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if they'll do that, but
right.
Next year, because even Stewie came out and said like, you know, they got to change it. She knows it too, so they know that they need to change it. But outside of that, Unrivaled has been pretty solid. And Jazzy, you're right. The refs are trash, but if we keeping it a buck, the refs are trash in college and the WNBA too. So they fit right in.
They definitely are trash. And if y'all don't, man, our playbacks on Monday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, and Saturday are on Unrivaled is always a great time. So y'all don't miss that ever. But the mist is starting to that Deshelle team. You know, she was crying. She was in it. She was going through it. She had no Beyonce news. The Miss was losing. Now she got Beyonce tour. Right, now she got an Asia shoe. She got a Beyonce tour. And the Miss that went 2-0. They went 2-0. So I feel like they coming along to like they had too much talent. You got Nay, you got Stewie, you got Jewel. Jewel, that's another player. She got a new team. She out there hooping. She just knocking down shots all over the place. So it was good for them to see them. I don't want to keep seeing all these teams losing. We want to see competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, sometime in these leagues, it will be a team that's going to be undefeated, like the Luna Owls. That team just looked like Fee. Like I said about Asia, Fee is in mid-season shape. Like she don't be tied on the court. She's
on her revenge tour for sure. She is. Yeah, she's ready. Yeah. I think they'll lose one game.
Yeah, I think so too.
But yeah, I also want to shout out Angel Reese. I thought it was corny that she got tossed. But I wanted to shout her out because I do actually see her game improving. Like I really do.
She is.
She's more aggressive and more decisive with her moves, like to the basket. Like she's getting the ball and she's just going to the basket. Like she's not, contemplating, oh, should I try or not? Like she's moving a little bit more confident. Still has a long ways to go and, being an offensive juggernaut, but She's definitely putting in work, and you can see her implementing those things into the game. And I love that for her, because it's one thing to do it in practice, but if you're not implementing the things that you're working on in practice in the game, it's no point. So within this last week, I've really seen her try to put a few things together, and she's doing well. I like what I've seen out of her so far.
Definitely. Jazzy, yeah, I forget about Rakia. She out there
Jazz,
showing the whole bag.
Jazzy beat me to it. I was gonna talk about Rakia. Like Rakia's been hooping. I would give it to you. I think over the past couple of games she's averaged around like 17 a game. Just like I said, I mean, the Mist are super talented on offense. That's why it didn't make sense to why they got off to such a bad start. And I know that Dejanay got hurt for a couple games, but you still have Brianna Stewart, you still have Joel Lloyd, you still have Rakia Jackson on your team. Those are 3 offensive juggernauts who can get a bucket at will, honestly. And I'm honestly glad that the Mist are actually, starting to really figure it out. But I had a question for y'all as well. How we feel about Vinyl, because Vinyl won their first 2 games. Now they dropped their last 4, I want to say. And I got some numbers here too. Like their first 2 games that they won, they averaged 81.5 points. In their last 4, they're only averaging around 67 a game. So it's a big difference offensively, honestly. I know that De'Erica had missed a game, with the situation. But Vinyl being 2-4 was something that I did not expect, honestly, especially with the amount of talent that they do have on their roster.
I agree. That is shocking.
It's very shocking. De'Erica has been hooping though for sure, but it's like they do look weird. Like they not. Ryan has been looking kind of off too. Like she started off hot, and then it's just I don't know. It's just Enrique and Ryan not gelling for some reason right now. Enrique been throwing up some bullshit. I don't know what's been going on over there.
I think their issue is defensively. They can't stop anybody.
They can't.
They definitely can't. I will agree with you on that. They cannot.
And you got Ryan and Enrique who like to let that thing fly. So it's like, who aren't bad defenders. They're not in their own respective. Enrique has improved. They're not bad defenders, but they're more offensive players. Like they got to lock it in.
They still got AB on the team. That's another defensive player.
Oh damn! And
she barely making it up and down. So
yeah,
they play. If you notice, they play her in like spot minutes. They play her in spot minutes because she can't. Like she's not staying with the pace. And this league will be good for her because it'll prepare her for the pace that she's gonna have to play with the Fever. Because Caitlin getting up and down.
Especially with those scores.
They were ranked first in pace last year. Yeah, this not her judge, but it is what it is. She out there trying.
No, she definitely is. It's gonna help her be in shape for the W for sure. So some of them probably just know it's gonna be too much for them, but it's gonna help with their game.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think a lot of players. I think we're not gonna see a lot of players next year. I think they're gonna say, "Nah, I'm good."
It's all good. So? They still invested. They still getting the bag regardless.
I think
investment in it.
How y'all feel about the Laces? We don't know nothing about what's going on with AT, but we don't know what's going on with Jackie.
They need to sit Jackie for the rest of the season.
They need to sit her down. You said
they got to sit her down. The Aces in the WNBA cannot afford to lose her, and they also cannot afford for her to be hurt coming into the season. They literally can't because. As we see, they're not doing anything in free agency, and all the fans keep saying, "Hey, why aren't they doing anything?" They have $300,000. They can't do much. Maybe $350. I don't know, but they can't do much. So they really need her. It's going to be another season where they rely heavily on their starting 5. They need Jackie in tip-top shape. She got to go back to Vegas.
I agree. Don't risk nothing here. No, we love Orion, but it's a great league, but. We all know what your ultimate goal is, and that's to help the Las Vegas Aces win another title. So don't risk anything.
I know Becky on that phone, like 407. Oh, my bad. I'll give y'all an extra 100,000. So if y'all get Cheyenne Parker Tyus, which I think they will get, she makes what, like 200 something. So that's 200.
Yeah, that's half of it. Yeah, that's half of this.
$207,000 to sign the rest of the bench. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do after that. It's gonna be woo-wee. It's gonna be real scarce there. I don't know. I wonder how far y'all think how long can the Laces go without AT though?
Not too long, respectfully. Because you're gonna go up against a lot of teams that have elite like front court players. Like they're gonna have to go up against what team is Steph Dolson on again? I can't remember exactly. Oh yeah, she's on the Laces. Stupid.
Yeah, on the Laces, yeah.
But you're gonna have to go up against like other players like Stewie, on the Mist, or De'Eric on Vinyl, or even Fee on the Lunar Outs. And I think you're gonna need a player like AT on the court to be able to defend those players. And on top of that, with her versatility on offense, being able to create for herself and create for others, honestly, you need that offensive versatility. Now, look, I know that they got Tip Hayes, but I think Tip Hayes got hurt in that last game too, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
yeah, but I don't think she did like a headache. She was it a concussion protocol after the last game or some shit like that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Something like that. But
said, "What's the point of Unrivaled if they're protecting stars? Protecting stars. I guess he means in the W. I think it's multiple reasons for Unrivaled. I think in Jackie's situation, it's a little bit different because she's been hurt since the Olympics. So something serious is going on. For other players with like long list of like injury histories, I would think like if you have a nagging injury, you might want to sit it down, because if they were overseas playing and they got injured, then they would be coming back home to the US. You know what I'm saying? So I do want the women to play, and I think playing in Unrivaled, you do take the risk of getting hurt just like you would overseas. But I don't know, if I am the Aces head coach, I'm telling Jackie, like, maybe if you want to just keep cardio, 10 minutes a game, I don't know, but I'm cutting it. I'm not letting this go on any further. I'm just not, because their championship aspirations heavily lie on Jackie Young being healthy.
Yes, it does. So
if Jackie Young is not fully healthy, they're not competing. They're not competing.
Hell no.
Yeah. Especially with the improvements that she made this past year. Yeah.
They need her. They definitely need her.
Yeah, they need her. So and I don't know. I really don't know, because they've been very hush-hush about the injury. So I don't know.
They have.
Exactly. And I don't mind it, but I don't know exactly how bad it is. But I do know that Jackie Young has been hurt since the Olympics.
Yep.
Played through it last year, but she's been hurt since the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. She got hurt in that game, and we ain't heard shit else about it. Now that she wasn't even on the damn on the report, on the inactive report, and nothing. So it's just, who knows?
Honestly, it could be done. To tell the truth, she probably shouldn't have even played in Unraveled at all, honestly, especially dealing with this injury that's been lingering since the Olympics.
Yes.
I agree.
So I'm
definitely. But I get it.
That.
She's trying to get a part of this Unrivaled bag. I get it.
I get it.
I'm definitely with it. I definitely understand.
Every time, every week. But Stewie said after this year, nobody else can invest. This is it. None of the other
so you had to get in this year. Yeah, you had to get in this year. So I definitely understand why. So before we move on from Unrivaled and get up out of here, so y'all know February 10th is when the one-on-one tournament start, and that shit's gonna be at 2:00 p.m.
What day is February 10th?
A Monday.
What the hell? Are you serious? What the hell is going on?
So then at night, so they got on the 10th is one-on-one tournament starts at 2:00, and then Monday, February 10th, that evening is 7:00. It starts back up, and then continues on that Tuesday, then that Friday
at 2 p.m.
So that's the only one. That's the only one that's on. So the first, y'all so bad. Look, I'm gonna put the schedule in here so y'all can see that shit in the chat for y'all. But yes, so y'all know, because I know somebody in playback asked about this, and I just forgot to answer their question, like how long it's gonna be going on. So February 10th is when the one-on-one tournament starts. So,
they really on their WNBA stuff, scheduling stuff early, huh?
That shit said 2 p.m. Eastern.
Go say y'all think Unrivaled will survive. I do.
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah, it's gonna survive.
However,
you got too much backing. You got too many people investing, so they believe in this shit. They got a lot of backing.
However, I do believe that people probably will spark concern the more injuries do happen, because there may be, I mean, look, hopefully, God forbid, there may be an injury that happens that may prevent them from playing in the WNBA season. Right. So I'm hoping that won't happen. But I mean, even aside from that, I think Unrivaled is great for these players. I mean, obviously, it gives them an opportunity to make money, then, of course, continue to play in the offseason, but then also prepare them for the upcoming WNBA season that's ahead.
Right. So real quick, the thing is with the injury thing, like if they were one of the players that would have been playing overseas instead of Unrivaled, that's a risk that they're taking anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's a player like Jackie who doesn't, or if it's a player, let's say like Asia, that doesn't go overseas, right? For her, you wouldn't play in something like Unrivaled because I'm not getting hurt out here. You know what I'm saying? Right. But for players like Nalissa Smith, who was just in China, you saw that she got hurt out there. And it could have been a lot worse. And, you know, she could have been out the whole WNBA season. So I think that's just like a risk that you kind of take with that. But I agree with Deshelle. She said Unrivaled will survive. However, when the stars start making millions in the W, they won't be playing for Unrivaled anymore. And I agree.
Yeah.
No, yeah, facts. Cool. Will they keep? Yeah, I think they'll keep it in Miami. If they would move, it'd be another hot state or city because.
Well, they already been saying that they want to do a tour, so they want to do it at different cities. So they'll go to. Different
I didn't know that. I didn't know they said that shit. Well, that's dope. That's definitely dope.
Yeah. So. That way, everybody can watch it without having to go to Miami.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's real dope. I do like that aspect for sure. Since everybody do know our player of the week, y'all want to say him or y'all want to get up out of here?
Y'all can go first, and then I'll do mine. I don't want to do mine last.
I already pretty much did mine. Mine is the freshman Michaela Blakes from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, so mine is what's her name? Georgia Amore from Georgia Amore from
the state, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Georgia. Oh my God, Georgia, man, it's time to go to bed. But that's my player of the week. You know, she got to it, 43 points against Oklahoma. So on the road, that's key. On the road.
That is key.
I don't give a damn. I don't care if it was suspensions for Oklahoma because of the LSU game. She was still getting to it on the road. So that you gotta point that out as well. Go ahead, Nick.
All right, so I'm gonna do something different. So because it's Black History Month, I'm going to give you guys a player every week from the past who may have made some type of impact in women's basketball.
I like it.
First, I'm going to go with Sheryl Swoopes. First player to ever get signed to the WNBA. Resume is top tier, 4-time champ, 3-time MVP, 2-time scoring champ, 2-time steals leader, 3-time defensive player of the year, and a 5-time All-WNBA first team. For those who know me, I've always been calling Sheryl Swoopes the GOAT. I think that she's number one. I know that it's debatable with everybody else, but to me, Sheryl was the one that just set the standard for what it is to win at a high level. Coming out the gates, winning 4 straight with the Houston Comets next to Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, and others. Yes, Deshelle first player to ever get a triple-double as well. I can't believe I forgot that. But Sheryl Swoopes is a legend. She's one that should definitely get her flowers, honestly. Even though there's not a lot of highlights on YouTube with Sheryl, but if you want to figure out, what type of player Sheryl Swoopes was, I would highly advise you to go watch her championship game against Ohio State when she was at Texas Tech, because that was a legendary performance.
It was. And Nike, retro her sneakers, please. Get on that. Retro her sneakers, man. I would definitely grab a pair again for sure. Definitely get up on that. Man, this was a great show. We went a little bit longer than we wanted to, but hey, man, sometimes that shit happens, man. But real quick, we're gonna be back on playback on Friday and then Saturday. I will be in Wisconsin on tomorrow and Indiana Notre Dame on Thursday. So I got some.
Oh, the game is tomorrow. Hold on, who's playing tomorrow?
USC Wisconsin on Wednesday, then Notre Dame.
How far is that from you?
2.5 hours. So I'm just gonna get a hotel.
Okay, way better than
Yeah, and then Notre Dame is an hour and a half.
2.5 hours.
For 2.5, so it's like I don't want because it's a game. It's gonna be at 6:30. So you know how that should go after the game.
Late then,
yeah, I don't want to. I'll leave in the morning. I gotta leave in the morning because I gotta go to Notre Dame on that Thursday, and I gotta go back to Notre Dame on Sunday. So I got a busy ass.
Hold on, so you're staying in Wisconsin, and then you're going.
Then I'm going. Yeah. So like tomorrow I'm going to Wisconsin. So Thursday morning when I get up, I'm driving home, and then that evening or that afternoon, I got to drive to Notre Dame. But Notre Dame was an hour and a half from me.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. So I get to see Hannah for the first time. I'm gonna be busy. So we got a lot of content coming for y'all. So man, like always, follow us everywhere. On YouTube, Saying Create Media Network on YouTube, on Apple and Spotify, anywhere else. Best Damn W Show. Where else we at? TikTok, Best Damn W Show.
We're not doing Twitter. That.
What did he say? Get it. All right. Yo, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We love y'all. We appreciate the support. Everybody who listen to us, share it everywhere. But man, until next week, the same time. Peace. We up out of here. Cue the music.